Hello, it's me, back once again with another episode of Microtopia. So, in our last episode, and I'm noticing a problem over here already. In our last episode, we had just revealed the new island, which is the desert island, which is up over here, which is a nice donut. But donut is good, which means we can kind of get around wherever we need to on here. The bad part that I noticed, unfortunately, with this particular island is we only got a tiny little outcropping of these guys over here. And I don't know if there's a way to make this bigger, like to get these to grow more. There's only like, what, 6 or 7 on there, unfortunately. There's a few more over here. I don't know. Yeah, so the problem with that is one of the next things we're going to have to do is get like a bunch of these and feed that to our queen. So that's going to take a little while. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time actually. In any case, we do have access here. So the big thing that we're going to need to get access to on this side, though, is going to be the copper and the glass. We're going to need a ton of that stuff almost immediately. And yeah, these are kind of the secondary thing we need to do. We're going to be able to make these later on, but that's still a ways off. It's actually a long ways off. But that's going to be critical in order to keep our population up because these yellow ones, they don't feed fast enough, unfortunately. I'm also noticing you are empty. Yes, you are. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to take care of that. We got some butts to pop over there. Beauty. All right, we can move this over there. For now, that should empty out pretty quickly. So we have some decisions to make now. So we have the recycler we don't really need yet. We'll need that soon. Carry gate would be useful. We're gonna need these guys in order to fly over to the new island. So we'll get that open. You do get a cascade with that, and you can also open that. That's going to give us the floral island. We can't really do that yet, but it's also going to give us the facility. I might as well get that open. We've got 150 science, so that's fine as well. We also got this one open. Okay, sweet. That gets us a factory and the iron pile. Main 500 scraps of iron. Huh. Not mine that much yet? Okay. We're also going to need to get diggers over there eventually, preferably. We need it to get through this to get to the digger ant. So the sooner we do that, the better as well. All right. In order to do that, though, it means we got to bring some stuff over. So we need to get some basic supplies over there, which means using the drones initially, which is fine. We're also going to have to open up this and start collecting all of these things. Yeah, rubble, glass, and copper. All right, cool. Rubble we can also collect over here as well, so that's going to be important. That's going to help us build bridges, which we should be able to get a bridge like over here if we want to, which will open up access to all this stuff here, which would be really nice. It's not the best way to transport stuff, though, unfortunately. It's not really any good way to transport stuff in this game. So one thing I think I would love to see them add is some sort of ant that can carry more than one item. I think that would be fantastic. All right. The other thing we got last time too was old trails, so we got those set up in a few spots. We need to get them set up in a few other areas over here too. Like over here, we need them for these guys. This is full. Okay. We also need to get there's so much stuff we need to get. There's so many things we need to get. Okay. Yeah. So many things we need. We need the big stockpiles too, because these ones are way too small. Pop. All right. I'm just going to move some stuff over there so we can keep this mama fed here. We have 150 population, which is good. So I think, yeah, we've got more spaces to expand for food, which is good. Food on this island's not too bad. We're going to want to make up a huge stockpile of it as soon as possible. We're going to pop him as well. All right. So what we want to do next. What do we want to do next? Go to the next island? Guess we can go to the next island. We've got enough of these ants here that we can start devising that. So the way to do that is going to be getting a launch pad. Oh my god, so many of these guys are dying here. Okay, that's fine. We're going to get a launch pad. We're going to put it over here. We're going to get a combiner, which is going to go over here. And then we're going to start splitting these up that way as well. Combiner will change that into... no, not a combiner. What am I doing? We don't need a combiner. We need a assembler. Yeah, an assembler. That's what we need. Yeah. My mistake. Yeah, we need an assembler. Assembler is going to go there. Assembler is going to... Let's pause for a second here. Assembler is going to make drones. To make drones, we need to attach fabric, which is over here. And yeah, we're going to place a dispenser over there for the fabric. Hopefully we're making enough fabric. It seems like we have anybody working fabric right now. Why don't we have anybody working the fabric? Oh, why do we have a weird little entrail over here? I don't know why we have an entrail there. Why do we have an entrail there? That's not an issue. That's a bit of an issue, right? These should be fine like that. No? Yeah, I think those should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so we got that. Pop you. We got our first flyboy over here. And so we're going to move him over there. Now we've got to determine where we're going to land. So let me pause again here. There's lots of metal there, copper. There's a little bit of glass here. So the shorter a flight we do, kind of the better. Oh, look, there's more populating here now. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Before there's only a couple. Maybe they only like start refreshing once you discover it. They start growing like after you discover. Weird. All right, anyways, we've got, yeah, down here is going to be good for copper and glass, but not for iron. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to go down here first. We need to at least start collecting some iron on this island. And so, yeah, we're going to make some trails. We got to make some trails. So we're just going to make a... actually, we're going to make a trail. We're going to make it dedicated, kind of like, so that I don't have to monitor it too much. We're just going to make a trail like that. And then we're going to put a storage over here-ish. Put a couple of storages over there. And then our flight path is going to come here. They're going to land there. And then they're just going to go onto there. That's all we need to do for now. They just need to collect stuff on here so we can start building some things initially. And that means that this guy is going to be assigned to there. So our flying guys are going to go over here and they're just going to kind of die for now. Which is fine. They're just going to collect a bunch of stuff, right? So we're going to go there. So those guys are going to go fly off into the air and start getting us what we need. Amazing. All right. Over here, we need a... need some old gates over here, right? Which way should these go? Guess it doesn't matter. Let's just go this way. Nope, that is not what I needed to do at all. You, sir, can go up there. What we needed to do was this, and then, yeah, go up that away. Amazing. Do we want more people flying than we want here? Probably. So what we'll do is do a double this way. So we can get twice as many going that way. All right. How are we doing for production over here? Why are they not making it down here? Don't have enough dudes coming down this way. What are you waiting for? You're looking for metal. We ran out of metal? Yeah, we are running out of metal. Because we just have these two guys doing metal. So let's get them going somewhere else. All right, so just reassign those guys to another little pile there. They'll keep getting all the scraps that are on the ground first. We've got a lot of these guys on there, which is fine. problem is we are not getting enough folks down here. Why is that? There should be 8 on this path. And in reality, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 on that path. Why is there only 4 on that path? And it says there's 8 on here. What is this set up for? This one is set up for mode 4. Checks all. I think that's why. No, hang on. Mode. Should just be like mode 1, right? So only 1 on here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, now there's going to be too many on here. Maybe that's why we had a counter end earlier on this. Is that why we had a counter end there? Yeah, because now we have too many on here. Now they're all going out here. Yeah, this is not working for some reason. I don't know how to fix it, so what we're going to do instead is not fix it. And we'll just do that. And we'll just have to have these guys come back in to the loop, fortunately, and waste a bit of time. Don't know why that isn't working the way I want it to, but that's fine. We'll just do that for now. It's all temporary anyways. All right, these guys are going. These guys are getting metal. Okay, cool. We can pick these ones up. Sweet. All right, anything else we need to worry about right now? Yes, this is too full. That can go in there. This is not full enough, because that's what's feeding Mama over here. We're slowly making it up to the 150. We should be able to get to like 200 pop just with this. But after that, it's going to be a struggle. No matter how quickly we eat or feed, we're not going to be able to feed her fast enough. One way or the other, we're not going to be able to feed her fast enough. All right, pop that. Let's check on things over here. What's going on here? You are carrying food. Why are you carrying food? Okay, that's fine. It's all good. All right, so on our inventory, we now have 7 flyers. Okay, sweet. So this stuff should be going pretty quick. Yeah, there it goes already. So I'm just going to get them to keep getting metal for now. Are you picking up from there? No. And in order to make this a little bit better, we're just going to do that for now. And then pause for a second. I need to be able to, yeah, make that go there. Okay. Yeah, because we just need to get a supply of metal over here to start off, and then these guys are going to have to start getting the basis of our initial little village, little temporary village, because I don't think we're going to be here for too long, unless we need metal. Yeah, we can always get metal there. All right. So, meanwhile, things are okay here. Realistically, we just want to stockpile as much stuff as possible. We want to make as much fabric as possible as well. Why is there only 2 guys on here when we need... Is there 3 guys or there's 3 guys here? Yeah, we probably need 4 on here. So let me get that moving up. Yeah, it's a bit of lag time, right? Yeah, that's fine. But we'll get a 4th guy on there. That's all good. Great. Okay. Pop that. Let's go into our science here. We're not going to have this yet. We will soon. Anything else that we can unlock? Cascade we will need for sure. Stockpile gate, I don't know if we'll need. We can also get the slinger. Slinger's okay, but they're really short range, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right, iron floor tile we were going to want. So the floor tiles and blueprints, right, that's the other things, yeah, so we can get those in a moment. We get that, timer gate, larvae storage is going to be important too, yeah, so we need those ones down there. Okay, cool. Now we'll just wait for more science to come in. Meantime, are we doing... Yeah, we're okay here, right? Do we need more people on this path? We need more food on this path. That's what we need. Out of food, not feeding those guys. Yeah, the radio stockpiles and all those things are super useful. All right, so these guys are probably getting... Yeah, we're getting log jammed over here. So let's make this a bit longer. Can I reach anything else to this? No. No, okay, so we'll start... We will start making a copper pile as well. All right, the reason why we make it that big is just so we can have 2 stockpiles for now. All right, and then we'll grab some of you guys to go on to the copper one here, because we're going to be making these guys a little bit too fast for a bit. But that's okay, because then we're going to be able to pull some of these ones off. And we will start building with the metal we're collecting here in a minute. Yeah, why don't we start working on that? Yeah, so next we're gonna need a little bit of mini production over here somewhere. There's not a lot of space in this little zone here. I guess I'll do it over here. And basically we're going to put the storage over here somewhere. These are all gonna make metal blocks. And we are going to, yeah, so let me just set this up. This will be pretty straightforward. All right, so I set up a little area there to start making iron. And what we'll do is we'll just grab some of you guys to go over there next. So we're going to split these guys 3 ways because they're just going to do our labor for a little while. And no, that's not what I wanted to do. Pause for a second. Can I grab this node here? Can I grab this node? Can I grab it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yoink. Yeah, okay, cool. Just gonna grab those. This guy's a little bit confused, that's fine. Send you over there. We'll fix this up. We'll just make all of this a little bit shorter now. No problem. Alright. Excellent. We got way too many folks on this path for some reason, but that's fine. What's your problem now? Oh, I didn't give you guys a way out. Oopsie. I think the easiest way is to do it like this, so they don't get in each other's ways. Why you don't want to work? What is going on? This is too close together? Oh my goodness. You guys go over here. Oh my goodness. Alright. It's too close together. All right. I have to like move all this stuff out a bit like that. And then you can you all can go back on there. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay. Herding cats over here. Herding cats. All right, so they should all be making metal for us. Okay, perfect. All right, these guys ran out of copper. Nope. Go and grab more copper here. Oh. Sometimes it's a little bit irritating because like I'm not interacting with anything there. All right, is there any glass nearby? There's a little bit of glass nearby. That's about it though. Okay. Fair enough. What happened to you guys? There's just too many. Why are there so many more on there than there is on any of the other paths? I don't know. It's fine. Okay. Just let that go. We'll let that run for a bit. Pop these guys. We've got now 90, which will get us the larva. Big eraser. That's fine. Iron decorations. 500 science for decoratives. Jeez. All right. I guess it's just something like endgame to use. We want to upgrade to the blueprints though, so we can start using those, because I think those will be useful for setting up like some of the simple stuff like mining paths and stuff like that. Meanwhile, we ran out of food over here. We're gonna get that going. All right, the other thing I want to get going is mining some concrete so that we have lots of concrete to build bridges with. So I want to get that. I think I'll wait till I have the blueprints, because I think that'll be easier to set up like little mining paths for everybody. So I can just do it once and then save it as a blueprint. In my blueprints, do I have that? Does that carry over from different games, I wonder too? But I don't have it open here anyway, so it's fine. we'll have to get the, we need 100 science for that. So that'll be coming. That'll be coming. All right, these guys have started making a decent stockpile of metal. We need to continue to get some more metal here. This is such an awkward path. Because this guy's standing on the one that I need to move over. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You go there. Yeah, these guys are all going to just die for now, but that's okay. Change the path of that one. Eventually, we'll start using these guys to send stuff back over, though, like copper. Should we probably start doing that soon? No, actually, not quite. Not quite. We do need to get some stuff made over here still. The copper over here is done, so that means we might as well start making the next little bit that we need, which is going to be some iron stuff here. Mostly we're going to need screws here. I think 3 should do it. But what we're going to do first is make some steel sheets. So let me just set this up like we usually do here. I'm going to make that longer, right? That's always a mistake that I make. It's not making it long enough. We need a storage over here. Then we need hauling path. Going back. And then we're going to go back this way. Hauling path this way. And then this guy is going to, I hit the wrong button, Y, is going to go over here. And then, not forget this time, counter ends. All right, let's actually get a path going like that. And then we'll do our counter ends to that. So they can get around each other easily. Now that one doesn't matter so much. And now you guys, instead of doing copper for now, will go over here. Cool. And then we need to pause. We need to make iron plates for now. So we don't need to make a whole bunch, but we'll make a fair amount of iron plates. Now my best thought for how this should run is that we will basically send everything, all the raw resources, back to the main island, so I don't have to make too many babies over there, because it does become a bit of a nightmare managing them. Oh my god, we got too many scientists going on over here. We might need to get another person on this one. Get those scientists a little bit faster. Alright, because we do need a lot of science points now before we need to split our population even more. Alright, we've got the 100 science. We need it as well for the blueprints. So let's grab that. Now over here, so this is how the blueprints work. So blueprints work when you build a foundation. So for us, for example, we'll build a foundation, and then we can build trails on here. Except that it's being a little bit funky. Okay, hang on. All right, cool. So what we've done here is we've created a little mining path, right? So I just kind of created the pathing here. And now the way that this works is I can go into the blueprints, this guy here, blueprints, and I can, floor tile selector, and then I can create a blueprint. All right, and so we'll call this mining path. And then you can put descriptions. You can save these and send them over to other folks as well and share them and all sorts of stuff there too. But now we have that. Basically now that's in our mining path here, and I can just kind of place it wherever I want to. Problem I find with these though is like I can't move floor tiles, so you kind of, eventually you gotta like destroy these each time, but you can also delete the floor tiles after if you don't want them as well. But that's fine. Anyway, so we can delete this for now, because I just had to build the template. But what we'll do now is when I go into blueprints, I can click this, and I can just like lay this down somewhere, which is going to be right about there-ish. Beauty. So there's our template for our mining. So we're going to start mining the concrete, the rubble over here. We can use this for the metal and all that kind of stuff as well too, which is great. Meanwhile, what's going on here? We got a whole backlog of dudes who are carrying Screws? Are we full on screws somewhere? Is that what happened here? Oh, hang on. We got crisis. We got crisis. Crisis is happening. Are we full on? We are full on screws, yeah, because we only got small storage for the now. Okay, so let's just throw that over there. We're going to need those momentarily. Look at all these guys. Oof, boom, boom. Got to get those popped. Got lots of scientists coming in. That's good. Okay, amazing. So what we're going to do now is, and I think we were already getting prepped for this. Yeah, we were already getting prepped for this. This is going to turn into a digger. And then we're going to take the screws that we made. We've got a whole bunch of screws here. I hit the wrong button again. Why? There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to split these this way. And we're going to send them over there. See one guy with a screw there. You can not do that, please. And then these guys are going to come down here. And then what we'll do here again is we'll set up another blueprint. And we'll put one of these guys down over here. And start collecting metal this way now instead. From there. And then we can just do a little split path into there and over there. Nice. And then later on we'll have to add like old paths and stuff like that there, but it's not super important right now. Because we can't do anything with these miners once we make them. All right, so some of these guys need to go. We have a backlog over here. Bit of a problem. Bit of a minor problem. No big deal. Yeah, but this is where the game starts getting a little bit challenging because now you got to split your. You have to split these little guys so many different ways to get all the things you need. It becomes a bit of a problem. And I'm running out of food. It's fine. Okay. We need to store more food. I really need to get the big storage piles. It's a problem. It's a problem. Just going to try to store all the food over here. But we do want to build up a massive supply of food wherever possible. So that we can manage that well. Pop that. We need another storage over here. Pop that. Somebody's got food or something in their mouths over here. Cause an issue. All right. Good stuff. Okay. And we likely have a ton of guys working over here. Yeah, tons and tons. Okay. Good stuff. All right. This is running out. Can use that one for now. Good stuff. All right. We'll get these guys to continue grabbing metal over here. We'll just shorten that path. Throw this over here in case that overfills. We'll throw this over here in case it overfills. And then as soon as these guys pass this little corner, we'll shorten up this path as best we can here for now. Yeah, this is all just temporary, so we're just trying to get them gathering. All right, meanwhile over here, we can now unlock this, which is good. So we can make copper. Excellent, which means we can make wire. That's the big important one. We also need to collect rebels so we can make concrete, light bulbs, all that kind of stuff. That's all coming. All right, what the heck happened over here? Somebody didn't, somebody messed something up. Did I mess up? I'm not sure what I messed up, but I messed it up apparently. Oh, because somebody went through here with extra. Right? Yeah. Got it. I guess we can make a conditional gate here. Stockpile gate. Yeah. Carry gate. Yeah. Carry if carrying steel. Go this way. And then you can drop it off there. And then you can go around the long way. Do I even want to do that? Well, I don't really need to do that. Why did I do that? I don't need to do this. Why am I doing that? I'm making stuff too complicated again. I don't need to do that. They're just going to go back around again. They're just not going to pick anything up. Moron. All right. It's fine. Can I do this? Yeah. Cool. All right. So that's all good. That's all good. They're still getting stuff. We need to go get glass. Yeah, because I think we have enough metal here for now. Which metal do we have? We've got 228 on there and 226 copper. Okay, so we need to get some glass just so we can get glass production going. Oh my god, so much science. All right, lots of people are coming in with food here. Did the food pile fill up again? Where's the full food pile? Don't know. All right, things are going okay. We're slowly approaching the 200 mark. Will be next year. These guys are a little bit backed up, but that's okay. We're making enough. We got 69. Nice. All right, we got all this stuff. Okay, cool. I think everything's under control here. The only thing is we're making way too many of these guys. We're making way too many of everything at the moment. But we do have our first diggers. So we are collecting now metal over here, which is good, because I'm going to redirect that, because that is actually out. So we're going to get that metal. There is 462, so that should last a while. There's 800 or 900 in here, so that should be a long while. Why are they... No, this is not meant for that. This is meant for rubble. There we go. Okay. Nothing goes right the first time. All right, so I could recycle these guys. I could make the recycler to do that. I don't actually have the supplies to make it anyways, because we don't have concrete and copper wire yet. So I guess that doesn't really matter. Collect rubble. Yeah, okay, so that should start filling up that. And then we need to collect glass. How much glass do we need to collect? We need to collect 50 pieces of glass. All right. Pop those. So in order to collect 50 pieces of glass, we've got 37 there. And we've got nothing else nearby here. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. All right. Well, we've got a good amount of iron started here, so that's fine. So I think what will happen now is, we are going to do something a little bit silly. We're going to do a launch pad over here. We're going to make this go over there. We're going to make this go over there. And then we're going to build a landing pad over yonder, where there is glass to pick up. Where's the best spot here? Build it here. This is the wrong way. And then we make a path along here. And then we drop some storages here. Then these guys, yeah, easy. All right. And then we just need to connect this new pad. So this new pad is going to be assigned over here. It's the fastest way for us to get what we need. And all y'all are going to make your way onto that pad. And these guys will just finish off what iron we have here. And then go back and we'll find some new spots to land them to just collect stuff. Because they're going to need to start bringing in, we need to bring in some miners. We need to get some miners over there. Post haste. Be great when I don't have to do this little micromanaging stuff here anymore. It's funny because I am micromanaging microscopic ants. All right, so now we have that going. We will get these shortly. We need to, that will unlock there. We have the larvae storage, so that's what we needed, yeah. So we need to build a larvae storage. Pop. And we need to, oh, why do we have so many larvae here already on the ground? All right, we need to build a larvae storage over here. And then we'll pause for a second here, so we can just throw all these in here. It's already full of larvae. All right, we will build another one. All right, so our population will get hit for a little bit there, but we're about to hit the top anyways. And so what happens when this population hits that population, max population, this one here, the queen, stops making the larvae. So basically we want to store some larvae for the next little while. So we're just going to fill that up. We'll let the population go down, because if we're not birthing new ants, we're not making the upgraded ants either. So it becomes a bit of a problem, a bit of an issue, and we haven't quite hit the 200 mark yet. So also a bit of an issue. Can I make this more efficient? I don't think so, right? That's about as quick as they're going to be feeding here, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to allow a few more to go through. Going to make a couple more of these, just so we have some ants to get us started when we're ready over here. Cool. And hopefully we can hit the 200 point here. We're almost there. We're slowly making it, but hopefully we can do that sooner than later. All right, these guys are working away. That's all good. We should be getting a bit of glass now as well. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we should have unlocked glass now. Yeah, and that's going to cost us 10. That's fine. The large stockpile is great. Yeah, we'll get both of those. The pod worker ant is the next big thing that we're going to work towards. Excellent. Yeah, cool. All right, just checking down here. These guys are doing a good job over here. We're about to hit the 50 rubble that we need to unlock concrete as well, so we can start up concrete production down here next, which is great. Yeah, we're just a few away. Sweet. I have this open over here, so that will trigger over there, which is good. And then we can determine where we're going to. Right now I've got the little guys doing most of the factory work and the smelting. So we could add another smelting area. I don't know if I want the little guys to do that. We've got a lot of the regular ants here too. So yeah. Okay, oh, we're completing so many of these things we're backed up on. Okay. To get concrete, we got 10. Okay, great. Amazing. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, where do we want to build that? I'm not sure. I'm also not sure why I'm getting food over here still. It's because this filled up? Not sure. Not clear. All right. These guys, do I still want you guys to be doing stuff? I guess so. Might as well. Yeah, might as well. It's only 2 ants. That's fine. There is an old trail here, but I don't know if they're even making it all the way. It's a long walk. All right, pop you. All right, amazing. Okay. So now the last thing we'll do for now is we'll start getting some little guys over here. We need to build a couple things we're going to need to build. And we're going to want, the biggest thing we want to get is glass. There's 300 glass here. So I think everything is going to end up happening over here for now. Yeah, glass is the thing that we want the most right now. Yeah, we want to start getting all of this glass as soon as possible, and this glass is all done as well. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a new area. First thing we're going to need to do is get incubators going. I think 2 will probably be fine. The other thing we're going to want is going to be an assembler, which we're going to need screws and metal and fabric for. And so we're going to put that like down here somewhere. I'm just going to put it over here for now. We can't build it yet. We're going to have to bring the supplies over because I'm not going to bother setting up a fabric setup over here. I'm just going to grab what I need. Yeah, and then in the meantime as well, so there's lots of glass here. Yeah, it's like several thousand glass in this area, which is great. What is this? This is, yeah, that's a little bit of fiber. That's fine. So they're going to take care of all the stuff. So we're going to redistribute all these things. So let me get this going. And then we'll get our first folks over on this side. All right, so I've set up a circuit over here. So basically ants are going to be born over here, they're going to come here, and they're going to go around and focus on screws. So they're just going to build screws. That's all we need here for now. And then they go over here and they can make iron. Meanwhile, the extras will go around and grab all this stuff. I will probably need to get more iron later on. There is iron nearby. But we've got enough to get us started. So what this means now is we've got to fly some babies over here. That's the next stage, which means that this landing pad is fine over here somewhere. We're going to move that over here. So that those guys can go over there. We're going to put tech, just for the time being, a cascade over here for those guys to come back, and then we're going to need to move around our flight path. So we need this guy here to no longer be there. This guy's going to come over here. He's going to be somewhere over here. I don't know where exactly. Maybe right there. Maybe a little bit farther out, actually. And then we're going to have stockpile of glass. And so we will put a whatchamacallit there. And we're going to put another one like so. So they're going to start transporting copper and glass off of this island and bring it to our main island. I'm not going to bother processing in here. It's too much work, I think, to set up additional supply chains here to do all of that stuff. So they'll just take it this way. Yeah, the other thing we're going to put over here is going to be storage for the larva, which will take a little while to build, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm realizing this is going to have to move back a little bit. The other thing we're going to put over here is going to put some stockpiles. Going to put some stockpiles like so. Don't know how many we'll need. I'll just build 3 for now. And then these guys are going to go through here. They're going to go here, and then they're going to go here. All right. And then once once we get this built, we will open up this gate. So that's fine. Everybody else will go in here and start working on this stuff over there, which is fantastic. This is going to be copper, which we have a bit of over here. Yeah, let's bring this over. Put that there. This is going to go backwards, right? So we'll do that. And then, so they'll land here, grab these guys, and go over there. That's perfect. What we need to do now is basically set up a bit of an airport for these guys. This is all going to go, we don't need any of this stuff anymore. That's all fine. Okay. These guys need a storage for this stuff. So we'll let them empty that out. We will need to put, I think, temporarily a flight path over here too, just to get all these guys getting out of here. We're gonna want them to come back. Yeah, we need a landing pad over here somewhere. So the other thing we're gonna have to set up is a bit of an airport. We need to set up some guidance for these guys to be able to pick up these little dudes, and then some other stuff. We need fabric, namely. Fabric's the only thing we need right now. So we're just going to move this over a bit, and then we'll set up kind of a similar mechanism over here. All right, and one of you guys is going to go to that, And the other one of you guys is going to go to that. Now we will have to keep an eye on the fabric because we don't want them to bring too much over. We're not making enough of it right now that we want them to bring all of it. We just need enough to build the stuff that we need over there. Yeah, all right. And so now these guys are going to go this way and that way. They're going to pick stuff up there. They're going to go there. Right? This guy is going over to here. So we're going to change that now to be way over here. Right? And so the first ones will get the first couple of kids going on that side. Amazing. And yeah, so you guys can I get you guys all? No, I'm gonna have to do you part and parcel here. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. What we're gonna do instead is just build a temporary path over here. So that they'll go onto the natural route over there. We have a lot of these guys, so we're gonna have to be a little bit cautious here. And then we'll do the same thing over here. We'll just need a path for all these guys to go on to after they drop off their goods. Yeah, you guys just need to drop off your stuff over here. You can start going. You guys can start going. You need to drop this. This needs to be deleted. These can all be dropped over there. This needs to be deleted. All right, you can just, yeah, just drop it. Drop it. All right. Everybody is going here. This one needs a target. I didn't put that. It's going to be over there. Or actually, no, sorry. We'll tell you to go over here for now. Oh, we don't have one. Oh yeah, we need a landing pad. We need a landing pad. Right. Yeah. Silly me. Okay, we need a landing pad. You can go over here so we can grab the stuff that we need to grab. All right, you can just drop that. All right, you guys can all now go onto there. You can go onto there. You can drop that and go onto there as well. Sweet. All right, let's move this thing over where we can see it a little bit better. So we will need that because now we need to set this up. Oh, what did I do here? This is not quite the way we needed it. Well, what we'll do for now is we'll do that. And then if they get here and they're still holding that, we'll send them back to there. Yeah, that's fine. And they'll just go around because this is going to fill up really quickly with ants. It's going to be pretty quick. All right, so these guys are already taking that, which is fine. And so we need to. Other thing we need to do is, and I'm forgetting, is we need to give them somewhere to drop this stuff off. So right now it's just going to be 2 of those. Like so. All right, cool. All right, I think we got all that sorted out. Pop this one. And then we'll go over and make sure we catch the first little dude coming in. Larvae can't be in stockpile, that's fine. We don't need them to be. And what madness have I done here? You are not supposed to be going there. Oh man, I always forget something. You guys are going down there. All right, we missed the first burp, but here he is. Oh, why aren't you? And I didn't connect this to anything. Okay. Yeah, we always miss something. All right, and we didn't also connect the stockpile to anything too. Okay. And we're gonna do this here, and then similarly over here. If you're still carrying that, when you get here, you're gonna go back. Cool. And there's our first screw. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so this is 45% done. That needs, yeah, more. This is, yeah, okay, cool. All right, I think it's under control for the time being. This needs to be connected to scrap metal, which is all over here. So let me get this closer as well. Let's make a big one. And we'll just throw all this stuff in here. All this stuff can be picked up. Very nice, okay. Just gonna throw that over here. The reason why I'm not taking too much time on this is it's all gonna be like temporary. I'm just gonna harvest as much glass as I can in the meantime, and then we'll worry about everything else later. We're also going to put like old gates and stuff like that over here after. I could upgrade them into those ants, but this actually just needs the baby ants once it's built. But yeah, there we go. First few little guys over on this island. Right here. Amazing. Why did you have metal over here? Why aren't you... This is not supposed to be screws. It's supposed to be iron. This is screws. Yeah. Alright. It's all good. It's all good. Alright. Excellent. And then the other little guys are just going to go and grab all sorts of stuff over here. Great. It's like clockwork. Before I get confused, I'm just going to delete all this. Alright. Back at the main island. We need to stop this for a second. And we need to get a standard on here. We've been, because those guys have been taking these for so quickly. We didn't have any births over here, so the population started to go down, so I just gotta take care of that now. And make sure we get our population back up, so we're not running out of anything over here. I don't think there's any major risk there, but we want to make sure that it's all good. So out of food in our main food pile. All right, but food is going up. We're over 1,000 now, so that's good. I'd love to get this at like 4,000 or 5,000 before we start doing the next tier of energy, because it's going to go through real quick like. All right, this guy can go away. Get those resources back. Amazing. Clean all this up. It's just distracting. All right. Just cleaned everything up there. This has now been built, which is great. So now our old ants have a place to go. So we'll get that set up. And then this one is just waiting for a few more fabric. Yeah, and this is not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be... What is this supposed to be? Nothing. We don't need anything here right now. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, we made more than we needed. That's right. Yeah, we definitely made more than we needed. Yeah, because they're just bringing larvae and those folks over there. So now this can go to 1. Or no, it can't actually. That's fine. Can't actually go to 1. Never mind. All right, so that's fine. Wish there's a fast way to center back on your main island. Just gonna load that up. We'll use up all those babies. We'll get the population back up to like 140 or so, and then we'll start sending more over there. These guys always seem to have an issue with food coming in their mouths here. Okay. Something to note for later. All right, so last thing we're gonna do is start setting up old gates. So we'll set up wherever we know they are dropping stuff off typically. I'm gonna set up elder trails. And let me pause because there's already people coming in on these trails here. Just gonna, can I cut across here? Yeah, okay, perfect. And then you're gonna go here. And then this guy is gonna become diggers. And then, yeah, you're going to supply that. And so the old folks are gonna come down here, and then we can start digging glass and copper and whatever else we need here. I think, and yeah, iron, but glass more specifically, which is nice now because now we have our blueprints. We can just kind of like drop these down wherever we need it, like that. So like, yeah, nice. So that will come here. Is this a pile or a? Oh no, it's actually a. That's fine. We'll get it later. All right. Cool. So that will be our first digging path to get us some glass. Amazing. We can also put bolt gates in a few locations over here, wherever it makes the most sense. All right. Yeah, this trail's going to run out pretty quickly. We'll get them to go elsewhere and pick up stuff. Maybe down here where there's all this copper, and grab all of that. But I think that's good. We got a whole supply chain set up over here. We're getting our first glass. We already got 300 glass and 300 copper over here, which is great. These guys are bringing it around to the other side, which is amazing. Yeah, things are doing well. Things are going well. Good stuff. Just need to get our population back up to like 140 or so, and it'll be good. So as is customary, let's hop a couple butts. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.